very great playlist that she's going to be giving to us today. So
Thank you.
let's get into the mix. It's time for Relationship 360. And stay close to your radio because this is the time that you learn about marriages, relationships. And Barrister Olumide is looking very, very
Gingered. He's ready.
gingered. He's ready, of course, he's always very ready
Always.
to tell us about it. But we're still on the topic. Barrister, we're still on that very topic.
Yes, we are still talking about reasons people remain in abuse. So, firstly, good morning, everyone, and thank you for listening to us on Relationship 360 once again. We really appreciate. Happy first day of March. Very funny. The 1st of February started on Saturday, 1st of March. Saturday. Well,
Again.
you find out that except in a leap year, the first day of February is also the same day as the first day of March because February has exactly 4 weeks, except in a leap year. Now, March is a month that I have dreaded for almost a decade now. If you remember, I'm always talking about the month of March. Why am I saying this? In Nigeria, according to our own statistics and research, it shows that March, the month of March, determines the curve of abuse for the year. Once abuse begins to rise in March, it then continues to rise. It doesn't come down until November. But this is something very strange. Why? In 2020, I gave a statistic and I said that 1 in every 4 marriages in Nigeria would end in a separation or divorce in the second anniversary, by the second anniversary. 1 in every 3 women would be abused in the first year of their marriage. Now, in 2016, 2017, Shija reported that Nigeria loses between 300 and 350 women annually to domestic violence and abuse. Now, the specific concern was I mentioned right there in 2021 that by 2025, the Christian or simple woman in Nigeria will more likely die from her marriage and its complication than any natural disease or ailment. And then 2025 came. Now, why the word Christian or simple woman in Nigeria will more likely die from her marriage and its complications? Now, 87% of domestic violence and abuse, separations and divorces are from Christians in marriage, better still, couples of the Christian faith. So, right from 2018, when the statistic came out, we had found that a particular religion had the highest rate of failed marriages. Now, in January 2024, the Pew Research Center in Washington released the divorce statistics in the US. And there in the US again, it was shown that 51% of divorces in the United States are from Protestant Christians, which tells you that Christianity again leads failed marriages. Now, a global view shows that Christians have the highest rates of failed marriages amongst all religions that exist. Then it tells you that there is a particular mistake that is being repeated. And I believe and emphasize that it is the doctrines of the said Christians. Now, let me move away from that. I'm coming right back. I mentioned 2025, and 2025 began with a banger. Mrs. Blessing Nwana in Anambra, Abagana, mother of 6, was set ablaze by her husband, Mr. Sunday Nwana, January, by second week in January. 14th of January, 47-year-old Sahid Ganiyu set ablaze his 32-year-old girlfriend in Jabi Motor Park, Abuja, in a motor park, in a garage. Now, there was another setting ablaze that we heard of in Ikorodu. That's number 3 in this same January. The same January 11th, a gospel singer dismembered his girlfriend, Salome, in Nasarawa, cut her into pieces. Now, this same January, Sunday, Echegi chopped off the hands of his wife in Unsuka. That was on the 28th of January. This January again, ASP Laremo, that was in February, Caleb, an assistant superintendent of police, and his wife, Taiwo, were found dead. The man with his genitals cut and the wife with her head smashed in. The children were trying to force the door open when they heard daddy and mommy fighting. Now, Success Izako, the 4 months pregnant spouse, they just got married 8 months, was killed by Kelvin Izako with a hammer. That was just last week. She had previously been attacked by this same boyfriend before marriage with a cutlass. In fact, her hand has defensive wounds of being struck multiple times by a cutlass. But she still went ahead to marry this man who eventually killed her last week with a hammer. 2025 started violently with 4 people setting their girlfriends and wives ablaze within the first 3 weeks of January. Now, I always warn, because traditionally March is when it begins to heighten, but this year started with the heights of January. And I had said this in 2021, that the way it is going, statistics show that 2025, the Christian or simple woman will lose her life to the hands of an abusive spouse, and also vice versa, because we have lost women and we have also lost men that remain in abusive marriages. Now, the month of March, I need to tell you something, always determines the curve of abuse. So when it's begun high before March, you can damn well bet that this already is going to be one of the bloodiest years ever in domestic violence and abuse. I did not even understand what was so peculiar about the month of March, because scientifically, no explanation. Religiously, no explanation. Even with, I had to check the zodiac, that is, whether there's some astronomical, something in astronomy that would, there was nothing.
So it's just
it is just a phenomenon in Nigeria that March, it peak once it rises in March, it never falls till December. Now, in ancient Rome, March was called Martius and was named after the god of war, Mars. And the Romans believed that it was a lucky time to begin a war. Before Julius Caesar and his calendar reform, March was the first month of the year. And when you find out every war began by the Romans, who dominated the entire world, you know that the Roman army was the only undefeated army in the entire world throughout history. They were never defeated. They almost overcame the entire world. When you look at the globe, you will find out that almost all of the partitioning of the world are in Roman language, because they almost conquered the entire planet. The only people that defeated Rome were the Romans themselves. They disintegrated from within. Why do people remain in abuse? I had given 5 reasons why spouses remain in abusive marriages. Number 1 is religion. Number 2, tradition. Number 3, they say because of the children. Number 4, public opinion, their fear of stigmatization. And number 5, because of money. Last week, we dealt with tradition and the children. Tradition, I explained to you, is where the dead are trying to control the actions of the living. And I mentioned the summary of tradition as this: tradition is simply peer pressure from the dead, a situation where the living subscribes to pressure from the grave, from the thoughts of the grave, where we allow people that have lived hundreds of years ago to keep us in check. How the voice of the dead is still speaking louder than the voice of the living in some people's decisions. How you no longer think, they just tell you, this is how we do it. Reminds me of that song by Montel Jordan, "This is how we do it." It tells you, they just, this is how, in my place, this is how we do. Who said this is how we do it? Even they don't know. But somebody told them, there's somebody that told the person that told them, and because tradition is always in third person. Somebody told somebody who told somebody and another person. It's handed down from generation to generation. Now, for those that are there to tradition, I tell you, never marry someone in whose family the dead speak louder than the living, where tradition is all that they think. They have brains but cannot evolve. Now, the second I talked about last week are children, and this is very important to me. Anyone that has been with me or has heard me talk will know that I don't joke with children. When you give birth, some people marry because somebody got pregnant. That is the most ridiculous situation you find yourself in, because if there was no pregnancy, you wouldn't have married. But pregnancy never makes a man a husband or a woman a wife. It simply makes a man a father and the woman a mother. You'll find out that 40% of the people in abusive marriages were people who married because of pregnancy. Why? Because if not for that child, I would not have married him. If not for that child, I would not have married her. Now imagine yourself lying down next to someone that you look at every morning and say, if not for this child, I would not have married this man. What will happen? You loathe and detest the person, and then you will now meet the person you truly love outside. So you have the one that you are with and then the one that you love. It is always full of abuse. So never push children. That is, parents, never push your children. If they get married, if they get pregnant, it happens. It happens. Some were even forced. Some were raped. And you now force them to marry their rapist. Some, the sex was not consensual, but they got pregnant anyway. Pregnancy is not marriage. You already have sentenced them from the very beginning to a 40%. When you are already 40% sure of failure, do you understand? You are writing a course that 40, I when I was in school, a lecturer told us that in this faculty, nobody has ever made a first class, and I intend to keep it that way. So we all knew right from time that there is no
way you
can get it. So let's just start struggling for 2-1, 2-2 or something. They already know that nobody would have, and that professor really tried but didn't get. He decided nobody will get. So you are starting a marriage that 40% chance of failure is already guaranteed. Why would you push people to make a permanent decision on a temporary problem? Pregnancy is 9 months. You now start rushing them to get married. Your churches too, so you quickly get married before the pregnancy shows. Is it that God does not know you are pregnant? Who are you deceiving? Or that we cannot count 9 months to know that you were pregnant before the marriage? Now, you are now in marriage and you find yourself in an abusive marriage. The first thing is this: once abuse starts, what? Reproduction must stop. I want people reproducing in abusive marriage. How do you reproduce your abuser? How do you bring children into an abusive home where they are also the primary victims of abuse? You now start, have you noticed in abusive marriages, you start seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 children? The more they abuse, the more the pregnancy. Why? So that it is more difficult for the woman to live with an increased number of children. So abusers reproduce aggressively because they know this person will. And the first thing they try to do is to prevent you from working. They tell you to stop work, so that anything that can empower you to live, which is your finances, when a woman is comfortable, she's able to hold her own, they fear because she can leave at any time. She'll just go and pay for a house and move. So they attack her source of income. And the next thing is to keep reproducing. It is easier for you to live with one child than to live with two, than to live with three, almost impossible to live with four. Where would I go? Who will take care of this 4? That's what you hear. Now you keep reproducing in abuse. That is the most stupid thing that you can do. And I warn you that children raised in abusive homes, tend to grow up to become abusive adults, because conclusive research has shown that men that beat their wives are men who grew up watching their own mothers being beaten by their father, an intimate partner, or a family member. So abuse begets abuse. You see, there was this case we picked up 2 weeks ago about a technical college in Ikorodu, where a boy, Sadiq, was assaulted by another student, both in SS1. If you know technical drawing, there's a technical board and a T-square. He used the T-square to hit the other boy just above the eye and almost took out the eye. The boy was a bit bigger, and it was over space. They entered the technical lab, and this boy, seeing nobody there, went there, sat down, and somebody taps him on the back. This was my space. I was there before you. That one says, I didn't see your bag. I didn't see your technical. That one now tapped the other one. Maybe I was here before him. And now the other one was like, but this boy said, I didn't see anything. Next thing, you pick up the boy's technical board, fling it. On landing, it breaks. And then you push the boy out of there. The boy now comes to squeeze himself in the little space that is there, but your own, because you are trying to occupy it, your T-square was poking him, and he just pushed it to squeeze into that place. You get up, take the T-square, and smash. The force of the smash, because I would have used hit, but smash would have been better, almost took out his right eye. Till now, he can't really see with it. So we took up that petition, and the evidence was transferred from one hospital to the other, because it seems an artery was burst and blood was not really flowing very well into that eye. So he can't really see, and they say we might be surgery. So I took up the matter. I went there with volunteers of our NGO, and the boy is 14, and I said, yes, criminal liability, whether it's 12, this boy would definitely go to a remand home. We're going to charge him for assault. And then it was at the police station at Igbogbo, the family support unit. We're there with some of our volunteers. And on getting there, met the family of this boy who had assaulted. And, things were going on. They were trying to beg. And even the family of the victim now came to me and were begging for the family of the boy. But I looked at the arrogance of the father of the accused boy, and I said, if the situation was turned and you were the ones that were begging, this man will never agree. And then the arrogance now annoyed the father of this, and the DPO came in and had to tell the father that you ought to be the one begging. You are in no position. And he was trying to tell me he has a son in London who is also a lawyer and all that. He just aggravated me. Wow. But the mother of this boy was quiet. She was just crying. And I had to call her aside. Am I out of time?
Yes, we actually have to go for a very short break. Just stay with us. We're back here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is Relationship 360. We'll be back shortly.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
play. I got that defined boy. You have just won yourself. Congratulations. Hello, good morning.
Yes, Melitus. One player, don't talk to two players because you won 20K.
So now you won yourself 20,000 naira. My name is well done. Okay, well done. You want to tell you well done? You won yourself 20,000 naira. With 500 naira, you can play to win big from 120,000 naira to 190,000 naira daily on Nigeria Info. Go to oneplay.ng and play with 500 naira. And in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. Or dial *347 *880 #3#. Win daily on Nigeria Info. 50,000 naira on Morning Crossfire. 60,000 naira on WhatsApp Lagos. 20,000 naira on Sunnyside. And 60,000 naira on Game On. So Lagos, what are you waiting for? The more you play, the better your chances of winning. Remember to dial *347 *880 #3#. Play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18.
Aisha, why do you have so many tins and sachets of cowbell?
Oh, it's what I plan to share this Ramadan.
My sister, you can start by sharing some with me now.
Oh yeah, take. It's Ramadan after all. In this holy month, share the nourishing goodness of cowbell with friends and family. It contains vitamin B9, Vitarich, and it's so creamy, so good. Ramadan Kareem.
Cowbell, a creamy goodness.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire, their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight, each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher, the battle returns and it's full of fire. Fan Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with glory, honor, and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? Then step right up. It's time for more. Register now and take your stand. Your time to shine is now at hand.
Registration is ongoing on www.nigeriainfo.fm.
And Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
Welcome back to your #1 talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Good morning and welcome back to Relationship 360, where Mr. Barrister Olumide has just given us a lot of insights.
People that will call him Mr. Barrister, Pastor Olumide.
Yes, I call him the famous Barrister Olumide. Yes, that's what I call him.
Well, Olumide is fine.
I call him the famous
Lagos, welcome back to Relationship 360. We're here, we're back with Barrister Olumide talking about the reason why people don't leave abusive relationship. And now he was giving us a conversation, the reports from Ikorodu regarding the boy from last week.
So, when I had jumped into your Mabino, so I'm trying to beat time. So, the mother was there and was just quiet. And I called this woman. I said, "Is this the biological father of this boy?" She said, "Yes." I said, "You gave birth to him for this man?" She said, "Yes." I said, "There's something wrong." Later, when I refused and said the boy be charged to court, he would be committed to one remand home in Abeokuta, the woman now started everybody started begging. I said, "I don't think this father, if this boy is going to go anywhere, it will be because of this father." Later, I found, in fact, you know what? It will not be sweet in my mouth. I want to call on one of our volunteers in 2 minutes, Mrs. Oboli, who was there along with other members of our Ikorodu volunteer group. If she could just wrap this up. Hello, Madam Oboli.
Hello, Barrister. Good morning, sir. Good morning to everyone this morning.
Good morning. Madam Oboli, please, in 2 minutes, can you just tell us what happened that day?
So, on Wednesday, I witnessed firsthand what Barrister meant when he said parents that leave their kids in abusive marriages tend to bring up more abuse into the world. So that Wednesday, what really happened was when this woman went silent, Barrister knew something was amiss. So Barrister took her to a corner and quizzed her further Upon quizzing her further, Barrister learned that the woman had already left the man under a year. And under that 1 year, the woman left what she could not tolerate and left 3 of her kids, this boy inclusive. So over the period she had left, it was discovered that what she was running from, the man was the one raising this boy and the other sisters in this same abuse. So when you hear barristers say these things, don't leave your children in abuse, it's not as if he's trying to separate parents from children or children from their fathers and mothers or even husband and wife. He has seen these things. So barrister now said the only thing that would make him listen to a truce or an amicable resolve in this issue is if the man should hand custody of the children to the mother in question. Because how can, under just 1 hour of leaving your marriage, this boy is like this? Was this boy like this before? The woman said no. So what really happened? The woman could not really fathom what happened because she met us at the police station in Igbobo that morning. So barrister said that. So the man said no. Is that why we are here? How will you come and dictate another? Barrister said, well, if you want me to listen to you, I'm not doing this for this case alone. This that has happened has a ripple effect. The woman left because you were abusive, and now these children under your own custody 1 year. See, only God knows what must have happened to the other children if this boy is manifesting this attitude. Guess what? When the mother got to the police station, the mother said the boy should kneel down while this case was being discussed. The boy stood. The boy did not want to kneel down. For a boy of 14 going to 15. The mother repeated it the second time. This boy did not kneel down until the mother slapped the boy. And everybody shouted, your mother is talking to you, kneel down. You needed to see the kind of arrogance, the kind of venom this small boy was exuding and manifesting. So barrister stood his ground and said, I won't listen to anything except you agree to write an undertaking that these children will be handed, because according to the law, the children ought to be in the mother's custody, else we won't be raising brutes. But then the man said no. So barrister said, no case until you decide.
Thank you very much, Madam Uboli.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. At times, it's fantastic when you have volunteers so that they themselves see what you are talking about. The woman left an abusive marriage. They are Muslims, by the way. And what she could not take, she left 3 children behind to take. In less than 1 year, the first child is already going to prison at 14 for an outburst. The force that the T-square is not that strong. When I held this weapon, it would be it wasn't.
It's a weapon now.
It wasn't because it had turned to a weapon. It wasn't that strong, so it meant that the force used almost brought out the eye of the other, and the boy can no longer see with that eye. Do you understand? It was stitched. His eyes was. And I looked at this, and the mother could not recognize him. She said, this is not how he was. I told the woman, you ran and left. You cannot leave children with an abusive partner. You fight to take them because they will grow to become abusive. Let us leave. And you are telling me that it's because of the children you are staying. So of what use is your staying when you are going to produce exactly what you are running from? Let me leave that. I was talking about... Yes, the man now said, well, if the woman wants the children, she should write. I said, there's no problem. That boy is going to prison. That is my condition. We are going to proceed with the case. And because the assault, in front of them, the mugshot of a 14-year-old boy, that means he will go into the system. That means when you Google him, you would see that he already has a criminal record at 14. Aggravated assault with a weapon. Keep leaving children in abusive marriages. Those children will kill you in one day. Yes, because when you now see what they are doing, isn't it somebody's daughter that just killed Izeko? That just killed Success Izeko, Kelvin Izeko, isn't he? And the girl will run away. The mother of the husband will come and beg her back. Now she's dead.
But let's look at it from another angle. Most of the time, just like you rightly said, most of the time the abusers in the marriage always try to see how they can use the children to hold the women down in the marriage. And this might just be one of those situations when the man is holding the children down just to force the woman back to the home.
Now, he has already remarried. In less than 1 year, there was another woman who came. One of our people now approached the woman. They said, who is this? He said, the wife of this man. So this woman now found out that now he's had 3 wives. The mother of this one is the second. This one is the third. So one of them now went to meet and said, that woman she too was quiet. He said, this is how he is, so that even she cannot talk. The same Cain that flogged the first wife, flogged the second wife, I don't even wonder. Let me go into another. So now one of the major problems, one of the major reasons why spouses remain in abusive marriages is what you call public opinion or fear of stigmatization. Public opinion. People who listen to other people's opinion. Now, according to the wisest man who ever lived, history has it to be a king called Solomon. In his book, Proverbs. Now, the Cambridge Dictionary describes a proverb as a short statement, usually known by many people for a long time, that gives advice or expresses common truth. So, in effect, proverbs are an advice, and it is based on truth and not religion. So I always advise people to read the book of Proverbs in different translations. That is the beginning of wisdom. The wisest man, Solomon, throughout history, considered and classified mankind into 3 categories or groups. The first, he called them the wise. The second, he called the foolish. And the third, he called the simple. So we have the wise, the foolish, and the simple. According to him, the wise, not that they are full of wisdom, but they are always known for their eagerness to learn. They are ready and willing to learn. So their knowledge makes them approach life with caution. These wise people are majorly guided by conscience. Everywhere you see the word God-fearing, it refers to conscience. The wise, when you look at Proverbs 14, it tells you the wise or prudent are crowned with knowledge. They always want to learn. Now, that is the definition of the wise. Not that they are full of wisdom, but they are always eager to learn. The second, the fool. Now, not that they are born foolish, but these are people who have grown to believe that what they know is enough and are reluctant to new ideas and knowledge. They are always overconfident and are not really moved by conscience. The particular character of these foolish people is overconfidence. The little they know, they believe is enough. So they are reluctant to get new ideas, to try new things. They stick to the old ways. Doesn't that sound like tradition and traditionalists? So for those of you that see overconfidence and it becomes attractive to you, know that overconfidence is the quality of the foolish. You just wait until they open their mouth or try to solve a problem. That is when you know that you have hired someone who is an exhibition of foolishness. Proverbs 14 always tells you to leave the presence of the foolish. Why? Because they do not change. They do not want to learn. They resist knowing new ways of doing things. Now, the simple. We have spoken about the wise. We have spoken about the foolish. Now, the simple. The simple are neither wise or foolish. So, why are they simple? They are incapable of deep thought or personal opinion. So they are usually led by the opinions of others. The simple person is called a simpleton. When you check the Collins Dictionary, it tells you if you say someone is simple, it means they are not very intelligent and they have difficulty in learning. The simple are psychologically and emotionally lazy and cannot commit to deep thought. They do not think, but they rather prefer to get opinions of people. Hence, they are people who are guided by public opinion. They are referred to as simpletons. The dictionary, Merriam-Webster, defines them as lacking common sense, defines them as being gullible. They are unaware, uncommitted, undiscerning, naive. A simple person can be born of both wise and foolish parents. So it is not by condition of birth. You can know them because they are always asking for people's opinion and cannot decide unless they ask from friends, from family, from religious leaders. It's what their parents say, their friends say, their pastor or imam says, but they cannot think or have a personal or independent thought. Now, this is the problem. The loudest voices on earth are the voices of tradition and religion. These simple people are easily identified by tradition or religion. Why am I telling you this? Now, when you are talking about a simpleton, Proverbs will tell you that they are not stupid in the intellectual sense. The word means something similar to open. That is, they are like an open vessel. They are open to anything. So, therefore, they are easily led or misled. Their problem is that their decisions are not their own, but they are made for them. They are neither wise nor foolish. They just are. They just exist. They are just open. So anything that you say, this is what my mother says, this is what my father says, my pastor said this. And these are the problems when you marry people who their mother, their father, or their pastor controls their thoughts. They cannot think. I remember a lot of people. A man has come to me before and said he doesn't know whether he is the husband or his wife's pastor, because whatever he says, it is whatever the pastor tells her to do. So these people are just open. Now, tradition is the voice of the dead trying to control you. The religion is the voice of the living trying to indoctrinate you. The two of them are very strong. Simple people tend to take one of the two. They are either carried away by tradition or carried away by religion because they are unable to think and ask questions. So they are easily overcome by words and opinions of voices. Why do people remain in abusive marriage or marriages? Public opinion shapes what they think. And these are the simpletons, people who are simple, who it is what their mother says. I don't believe the number of times you would ask someone, so why did you stay? They will say it is because, my mother said you go back. I was talking with someone, was it yesterday or day before yesterday, and she said in their lineage, I think it was on Thursday, in their lineage, there is no divorce, has never happened. Nobody has ever divorced in their lineage. So I said, okay, your lineage, do you know your grandfather's father? Said that they know their grandfather. So you know your father and your grandfather. I said yes. What about your grandfather's father? That is your great-grand. They don't really know much. So how can you say your lineage when all you know is your father and grandfather? Do you know what happened before them? And some people will keep telling you, the lineage is in their lineage. It has never happened. What do you know about your lineage? There have been over 100 people before your father. Simple people have no form. They are neither crystalline, they are not liquid or gas. They just are open for the next. Let me ask, what do you think? They are always coming to it is public opinion. So you find these people to be the fanatics, because the moment a voice is able to hold them, they become the fanatics of tradition, they become the fanatics of religion. And I tell you, when you look at widows, especially those that their husband dies and the family starts to question the widow, you must drink of the water of the to show that you did not kill our brother. You must come and sleep in the evil forest. You are the one that killed our brother. You will find out that those voices are always led by women against other women. So women are the problem of the other women. It is those women that will be singing in the market square. Why? Because tradition has blocked their brains to understand that they also are women, and their husband too one day will surely die. Almost 70% of the world's population above 65, no, about 65 to 70% of the world's population above 65 are women. So it seems as if the women live longer than the men. So, ladies and gentlemen, the same way you sang for another widow is the same way those foolish women would also sing for you. You cannot talk to them. Once they have caught the fire of religion and tried, they are those ones that are fighting for their pastor, fighting for their parents. You don't talk to they can't even listen, because they are simple. Whichever voice comes first. Those that yield to public opinion, you are more simple than you know. Your issue is that you are the one going through the abuse. How can people that are not going through what you are going through be the ones to tell you how to handle what you are going through? Do they feel it? Do they know it? I'm being battered, bruised, beaten. They are sleeping in their air-conditioned houses while I'm running on the road and running into neighbors' houses. And yet, it is those ones sleeping while you are being beaten that will tell you, oh, don't worry, go. They will wake up. Oh, don't worry, just go back. And we'll pray about it. They will go back to sleep in the air condition. You will go back to sleep in the toilet, locking yourself in the toilet. How is it that you continue to suffer the consequences of the decisions of others, not your own? If you want to leave, did you take permission to marry the person in the first place? No. So why are you now looking for permission to leave an abusive marriage? Your church, your family, because it is what they say. The public, our group, our organization, our committee, what would they say? Really, now that you are dead, what will they say? She was a good woman, but she's dead and left children. He was a hardworking man, very devoted to his family, very foolishly devoted, because even in abuse, he remained. And is that virtue or vice? Listen, there is a difference between long suffering and to suffer long. You think that you are suffering long in your marriage is what? Virtue? You are being abused is virtue. There is a thin line between stupidity and that long suffering that you are going through. It is as a result of your decision. Long suffering has nothing to do with your marriage. Long suffering is a religious tool. And it is for your faith, not for your marriage. "2025 might just be your year." We have started. In less than 2 months, we've had almost 30 deaths. Even before the month of March, the dead month of March, they've started living in their droves into eternity. This might just be your own year. Stay, remain. Before I will beg, leave. No, today I'm telling you, stay. Stay. Continue to enjoy your abuse. And then teach your children how to become future abusers. Women who remain in abusive homes, women who watched their mothers remain in abuse and did not leave. So they would be like, my mother went through it. You just endure. So you find out that your actions as a mother, as a father, determines the response of your children in future, because they never saw their parents to be courageous. I quote a lot of scripture. It always says, be strong and be of good courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but in spite of fear, you would stand. I may lose my life. Look at a lot of them dying before their time. Gruesome deaths. A man cut off the hands of his wife with a cutlass. Now she's out of the marriage. Is that how she
came in?
Is the bride price they paid for a full human being? What did they return? What did they return? Did it have to get to that point? A woman dead now, died with her brains being smashed in by a hammer, died by her husband going to buy petrol to pour on you and light you up. And he has been telling you, I will kill you, I will kill you. You say, I know, he only says it because he's angry. Today, he has killed you. Foolish. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't even know where to start. This year has let me tell you something. I have not been in as much debt in my entire life as I have been. When you say debt, that is DEBT. That is gbese. As I am now. And I have said, I will not take any more. We have from this when I leave here, immediately I'm going to Massey Street Children's Hospital, because a wife chose to watch her new husband defile his stepdaughter from the age of 11. Now she's 14 and just delivered a baby last Saturday. We rescued her from Ojo. The mother stood and went to an orphanage to offer to sell the child. That was the plan. She was now telling us that she didn't have anywhere to go. She didn't have money. So what? You could watch the man defile your daughter. She's 14 and she just gave birth to a baby girl. No antenatal. Now, even the delivery was under so much duress that the head was out and the girl was still walking. A 14-year-old didn't know what to do. No antenatal. Being beaten by this same man. The child was now delivered, but was not in the same color. The color had changed. We had to now start rushing, paying, assisting the police. The child already had meningitis, jaundice. Meningitis can make the child a special child.
Yes.
So we now had to rush from Ojo to Massey Street, paying for that the medical bills. Come and see but I thank God for those doctors there. Because of a mother. The 14-year-old is now what? Has a child. They wanted to name the child. They said they should give the child my name. How will I be the father of when the stepfather? Do you know the stigma of that? Her mother's husband is also the father of her own child. And the mother watched. We are about to go.
Yes, we have to go on a break right now, but it's just very painful hearing, and I think a lot of people should understand this, that abuse doesn't just affect you, it affects a whole lot more. Children, the whole lineage, everyone involved. But Lagos will be back shortly after this break. Don't go nowhere.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
It's tasty, creamy, and nourishing. It's original Niger yogurt. It's Fan Yogo. Go time for the new Fan Yogo drinking yogurt. Fan Yogo, original Niger yogurt.
Foldham Consulting presents a one-day exclusive seminar in Lagos, Nigeria on the study options at the prestigious University of Regina in Saskatchewan, Canada, and Red Deer Polytechnic in Alberta, Canada. Date, Saturday the 8th of March 2025. Venue, Redington Hotel, number 42 and 44 Isaac John Street, GRA Ikeja, Lagos. Meet with experts from Canada who will be available from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to provide you with valuable information. Admission officers will be on hand to assess your international passport, WAEC result, and scratch card for free. Don't miss this opportunity to kickstart your education journey. Register now at www.foldenconsulting.com/registration form or email admin@foldenconsulting.com. For any further inquiries, reach out via WhatsApp or call 0707 7420 032 or +1306 4509 137. See you there.
Lagos, the round of 32 is over. This is the round of 16 of the I Beg to Differ debate tournament. On Monday at 4 p.m., the I Beg to Differ studio reopens for the first match of the week. Alexandra Chidima Richie will contest for a slot in the quarterfinals as she takes on her opponent, Anthony Ndukwe Anaga, on the topic, there should be an age limit on when children can own a phone. And at 5 p.m., Odwayo Salami will go head-to-head with Esther Joseph on the topic, elected positions should carry age limits. Lagos's best 16 begin their journey towards the quarterfinal on Monday. I Beg to Differ is proudly supported by Obi Weezy and Chrisland Schools. Prize money sponsor, Tollywood College. Lagos, we are still open for sponsorship and partnership. Send us an email now on info@nigeriainfo.fm. That is info@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Lagos, we're back. This is Relationship 360 here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. And of course, we're still having the conversation here, looking at why people remain in abusive relationships. And I would like everyone to understand that this does not just, we're not just talking about women only, we're talking about men as well. And Barrister, I think you should also speak to the reason why men remain in abusive relationship.
It's the same. You see that I talk both in both genders. Men, we've buried men, we've lost women.
Do men stay back in relationship because of children?
Yes, now. Absolutely. Absolutely. My own father left while as I finished the university, as I graduated from the University of, I knew that my dad and my mom, they started having, and religion was a major part of it. My mother was very hip before, jeans and all that. And suddenly she joined this church. They no longer wear rings. They no longer use, always on 70 days fasting. So I know my father they stopped going to functions together because she wouldn't dress well. My father dresses but my mom would just be so basic. No, so my father told her one time that please just stay at home, don't worry. He would go. Eventually, he now said he just didn't want to affect us, so he waited till I graduated. As I finished from the university like this, he just packed his bags and left.
Oh,
yes, he didn't even tell us where he was going. He just packed his bags and left. I traced him, I found him, and after a while, we lost him.
Wow.
It is you are trying to wait for me to graduate. Now I have graduated, and this is what I have become, and you are not even around to reap the fruits of your labor, to see your son. My father was so to
Area Info. Let's talk.
It's very painful. I know what he was going through. I know what and I don't mind, because if I were him, I also would, it was because the ideologies had changed.
So all the while you were, going through secondary school down to university, you knew something was off.
No, I knew something was off. Now the arguments were very much, and I also watched the transformation as one became more and more and more and more religious, to the extent of living they stopped staying in the same bedroom. It just became, at times I would look, I say, Mommy, why are you dressed like this now? And my father would not even compromise that. He would just say, don't worry, no more going to parties. He would just dress up and go by himself. So they had started drifting apart. And then my mom's family was, they were very arrogant people. So it's not even an issue. So I don't blame him. If you're not happy, leave. But now using the children, you now stay till you didn't live long. At the end of the day, so what was it for? I'm talking here. My father is not here to even hear me talk on the radio. My father was not there when I got pregnant. He never met any of my kids. Of what use? Of what use? And at times I get angry. At times I'm just like, okay. But it doesn't make sense. I have nobody to report to. He's the only person I can sit down to talk to. Like, because he was very smart. When you see me, you see him. So who do you want to report me to now? Do you understand? Who do you want to report me to? He's not here. Your son is. Nobody can talk to me now, because you are not my father. You can only advise me. But the person, because that man molded, how I was before? I wasn't like this. So he sat down and said, I will kill. He told me that, rather than spoil my name, he broke me, mended, and look at, I am now him, a better version, but he's not here. Does it make sense? Of what use was all of it? All of that?
So one of the things that is always discouraging men, I'm not holding brief for them, but one of the things that is also discouraging them is that they don't get to play a role in the lives of their children if they leave.
Who says? I have a son, I'm not married to the mother. I was a single father before I went to court to get... There are laws for this thing. It's not your tradition, the dead, that will now decide how you would raise your child. There are laws. You cannot prevent, except he's an abusive parent. Except he's an abusive parent. That is when you can kick in. But besides that, holidays, at least half of the holidays, I myself drive my son to go and drop him at his mother's house. Not up to a week, the mother will call me to come and carry the boy. I'll say, no, I'm not coming. He will stay there. He has the best of both. When I want to scold, the last time he ran to his mother's house, when I wanted to flog him, you understand, because of what he did. It doesn't stop you from, but when you have malicious, you fight for it. You go to court. There are laws that govern this. You cannot deprive a parent access. You saw the Adigwe story here. You cannot deprive a father access to the mother, to the child. You cannot deprive a mother. And that's what happened in Ikorodu, where the mother just left 3 children. Now, not up to a year, one is going to prison at 14. Don't ask me about that one. Say, they tell you, is it that they didn't train the child? It is marriage that will not start training a man to be responsible, or a woman to also be responsible. What kind of saying is that? Is it that one leko ni ile to timboni abi wolo leko to so wipe ile oko won leko ni bi te timboni kò sẹ́ni tó kọ́ yín ni. So you understand, you can't be, and they have spoilt this marriage thing. Is it that the person has no training, no home training, no morals, no standard, no education? You just join 2 apes together and hope they become civilized. Is that what it is? And they just develop proverbs to help you manage your frustration. Just want you to be there in the blender, and they start giving you oil. Just don't worry, just go there, give you 1 week reproof. We've spoken to him, go back. Now we are burying all of them. Please, let's go to the phone lines.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. But I would like to start from this message here from Godwin. Godwin from Ibadan is asking, Barrister, with all of these threats to marriages and what you've been saying, can there even be a perfect marriage at this time? That is the question from Godwin. Can there be a perfect marriage?
How can Godwin ask for a perfect marriage? Is Godwin perfect as a human? When Jesus was told, oh, good master, Jesus said there is none good except God in heaven. So how can imperfect people create a perfect marriage? No, we're human. But the issue is, don't carry more than you can handle. Know yourself. The problem comes with when you take problems you cannot handle. You marry the weapon fashioned against you. You marry your affliction. You marry your temptation. It says, lead us not into temptation. But you decide to go and marry your provocation, what you cannot take. Because someone says, don't worry, they will change.
Lagos phone lines to call 0201 465 7190. 0201 465 7190. You can also send us a message on SMS 080 959 75805. 080 959 75805. And if you're joining us from the diaspora, you're joining us from anywhere in the world, and you want to be a part of the conversation, you can also join us via Skype, Nigeria Info FM. Just join us via Skype, Nigeria Info FM. You can also drop us your messages and your comments on Facebook, Nigeria Info FM 99.3, Nigeria Info 99.3, sorry, Nigeria Info 99.3, and on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. Lagos, let's take some of your comments now. Go straight to the phone lines. Hello, good morning.
Hello, morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello?
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 All right, so you have to call us back. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hi, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. Barrister, you are good.
Good morning.
And I believe that God created perfectness for human beings. We need to know what is right. All your explanation is right. You need to do it. Perfection means you and human beings to live in peace. So what you explain, your own explanation is whoever practices it is perfect in life. You understand? You don't know tomorrow how it's going to be, or you create tomorrow, or you know what next minute can be. No. Perfect is to know what a man's supposed to be, to do, and know what he's supposed to say. That is perfection. So I love your explanation of life, and please, Nigerians, cue to their very something. It's life. Olumide is talking. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Please, when you call us, turn down the volume of your radio. Hello? All right, you have to call us back. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear us?
What's going on today?
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Barrister, good morning. This
Good morning.
is calling from Agurai Berigbe.
Good morning, ma. Go ahead, ma.
Barrister, God will bless you.
Amen. You too,
This
ma.
technical school, my son is there too. So, and I will stand on my feet. The day that we have a meeting, I will spoke. And will help us, please. These children, they are much in the same class. We don't they pay money for the seat already. Please help us to beg government. May they assist us for that technical school for Korodu. These children too much for the same class. More than thousands of children. Too much. Please. God will help you, Barrister. Who have you a mother, father here? If you don't want to hear, remain the same. Barrister, God bless you.
Amen. You too, ma.
We'll take more calls. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello?
All right. Seems like there's a challenge with the phone lines, but we'll still try it. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Femi from Elegushi. Good morning, Barrister.
Good morning, sir.
God bless you, Barrister.
Amen. You too, sir.
those people who are quoting the word of God, saying that God they trust. Let me tell you, the Bible says the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. And the Bible says that my people perish because they lack knowledge. Okay, the knowledge we are talking about is simple knowledge. Look at our pastors today. Even if people is dying in marriage, they will still say, for better, for worse. Is it not these religious leaders that are encouraging most of this domestic violence? Most of these traditional rulers, are they not encouraging it? Why is this thing being in a growing side all the time? And one thing about our parents, we have a responsibility of training our children in different ways, not by only white-collar jobs. We should try to train our children to embrace agriculture. Children now don't want to touch the ground because it's dirty. And if you look at all the white-collar jobs have been occupied, that is why you see Yahoo Plus and other things, violence going on, even in the school. Which child now is ready to go and learn agriculture?
All right.
So our parents should do more. Parents should do more by educating the children in other aspects.
Thank you,
and
sir.
Run away from
Thank you,
violence
sir.
at home. Thank you very much.
I can hear the fire in his voice.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Barrister. My name is Robert.
All right, Robert, go ahead, please.
Barrister, when you were sharing your story, I was just like weeping because just like what your story looks similar to mine. And let me just say it honestly, the separation of my parents, not that my parents were violent, but it affected my life till today. I just pray that God should not let me and my wife separate so that it won't affect my children. I was crying when you were sharing your story. Some men goes through a lot, but they bear because of maybe one reason or the other, just as you said. God bless you, sir. Thank you.
Man, that's new coming from Mr. Robert. Thank you.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, please, you might just have to step a little from where you are so we can hear you clearly.
Hello?
Yes. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Barrister, thank you. You have really spoken very well.
Thank you.
I just want to share my own story. You know, I'm from the family where all my sisters are happy married. And I'm the last born. I had issues in my marriage. I was like, where will I go? I don't have any work doing there. And I already have the job. What will I do? What people say? I'm a choir in the church. I think, but this thing is so much that I'm already in my mind. There was a time I was even referred to psychiatric hospital. So my sisters and my brothers then said, no way you are going to live. Even when they said that my thing is you, but thank God, I left and I'm still okay. And to God be the glory, I want a good job now. And I'm taking care of my son. So my advice to women facing that kind of issues in their marriage, they should just pray and God will lead them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma. The network wasn't very clear, but we were able to
pick what she said. Yeah. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Emmanuel. Good morning, Barrister Olumide.
Good morning.
Madam Oboli, good morning.
Sir, good morning, sir. Let me start by, I want to ask you two questions, Barrister. But I want to start by saying my mom is alive today because she chose to take me and my younger one out of an abusive marriage. My dad is late now. But I guess she would have been dead if she had not made that resolve. My mom said my dad would beat her and throw the key under the bed. While she's struggling to look for the key, my dad will keep pummeling her, even right there under the bed, until people will use their legs to break the door down. Thank God she's still alive. Now, first question, I strongly feel the reason some men or women don't fight in court for custody of their children, aside the fact that they cannot cater for the needs, maybe because they don't have enough finance, also stems from the court cumbersomeness because they feel if I go to court now, when will the case be finished? But I believe strongly, Barrister, if you could pull through with yours, no man or woman should lazy around and watch their children raised in toxicity or an abusive marriage. That's the first one. Secondly, I noticed that on Wednesday, the woman in question was covering for her abusive husband. How do you cover for a man that has been abusing you while you were with him for over 10 years? And at the end of the day, when they were asking her, she said it was just only emotionally. It was later we discovered that the man had been abusing her verbally, not only verbally, was also abusing her physically.
It was when her own brother came.
Fight with people, not fight for people. Please, what's your take on these two issues I've raised?
Well, you've answered them. Where you say maybe the court process is too cumbersome. So what is the alternative? Is it to leave them like that? Because that's the only way. Or you do self-help. That is, you go and kidnap your children. Then they will now use the police to come and arrest you, and then you will lose them. The only way is to go legal. It's not that I went 2 years, 6 months in court, but there were issues. I think COVID also. No, it wasn't COVID. Was it something? Was the magistrate was transferred, but I fought, and my son said, "Thank you for fighting for me." He saw it that this man fought. But you sit down in your house, you say, I'm going to work. So what is the alternative? Women, get yourself busy. All those gold digging tendencies, looking for a comfortable man. You should know that you must also have something. Or else, if anything happens to you, you are on your own. You will lose you say, well, because I cannot take care of them, so I left them. Why can't you take care of them? Why were you reproducing things you could not take care of? Reproduce 1, reproduce 2, reproduce 3, then you now have twins, 5. Say, where are you? Is it a competition? You can't raise them. Why are you bringing them? You shouldn't go into politics. So if you give birth to a child that you cannot raise, first of all, that is child abuse. Secondly, you will go to prison. You will work in that prison that we will use to take care of your child. You will walk that walk. You can't just be reproducing and throwing them into the streets. These are the thieves, these are the cultists, these are the area boys you see, because they have no proper home.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning.
Good morning, Barrister Olumide.
Good morning, Pastor Ladipo.
Thank you. This is Pastor Ladipo from Sari Gomo. I think quickly, 2 things. The first thing we need to start dealing with is society stigmatization. That people see those who live their abusive marriages as people who are not courageous. So the issue with the divorcee is this. I think that is another thing we need to fight for. Then secondly, why some men have to endure and stay? Because there is this culture, there is this mental culture that you are a man. You need to be a man, so you don't have to cry. You don't have to. You must be a man. Until some men begins to voice out and cry out, they will continue to go through these things in silence.
Pastor Ladipo, can I say something? You just said something. You said there is a culture. The first thing I spoke about was tradition and culture. If you see, you can't expect me to leave Lagos and come and fight for someone in Kaduna that he should say public opinion. It must start from you. So don't wait for people to come and try to amend society for you. You take your own decision.
Yeah, the point I'm even trying to make is in the area of why men endure abusive marriage, because they are feeling there is this general belief that you are a man, you must man up. Enough is enough. Men are really dying. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, sir. It's a choice. I was a single father. Then, I would want to date and say, single father, you know what? It's not a problem. If you don't want, you don't want. Oh, I was in church. I was attending a church. I couldn't join men's kini because I'm not married. But I will go to church with my son. So they knew that I would. You would know that I don't hide that one. So whichever one you.
They know you
So
had a son.
I did not join any because they would look single father, single man. At the end of the day, when ability showed, I was now made the leader of the men in the church. I was the president of the men. The only person that was not a pastor that was given that position. Until the time I resigned, in fact, when I resigned, a lot of men were leaving because they were like, because I brought in the men. We started going on projects. We started going on. So you see that ability. Look at the woman, the Samaritan woman that had 5 husbands and was staying with. Did Jesus look at her and say, Jesus is not talking about her condition. That does not mean your circumstance is not a determinant of your capacity, of your gift, of your talent.
All right, we'll go back to the phone lines. Phone numbers to call.
0201 465 7190. Yes. And if you want to text us on WhatsApp, you can text us on 08095975805.
All right, Lagos. Remember that you can also send us messages on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM, and you can also call us whether you're in the diaspora, wherever you are in the world, Nigeria Info FM via Skype. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Emmanuel, my brother.
Good morning, my brother. How you doing today?
Yeah, this is the merchant man. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Awesome to hear you.
Yeah. I sent a message on the WhatsApp. I was asking, the voice on the lady's voice is very familiar. It sounds like Peter's. You've not introduced your colleague or whoever the lady is.
Yeah, she's my co-anchor. Her name is Wonderful Christian. We said it on the show now, Merchant Man.
Oh, maybe I didn't hear when you mentioned her name.
You
are welcome to Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Let other people call in.
My submission is I want to thank Barrister for that definition of fully intelligent and simple person. Ordinarily, before now, the place of the simple, I misconstrued it for.
Oh, sorry about that. You have to call us back. Hello, good morning. Hello. All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm David from Ibejoriade.
All right. Please go ahead.
Barrister, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Another members of the House. One of the submission of Barrister that says things are changing, but I believe that we in the Christendom, the Bible has been written, and even the new editions they are making about the Bible is to make the vocabulary easy to understand, not to change the meaning. So, our God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So, it is the Bible that is guiding the affairs of life of Christians. So, that's what it says is what we have to do.
Okay, fantastic. I thank you for that. So does the Bible tell you to remain in an abusive marriage?
You can separate to settle.
Does the Bible tell you to remain in an abusive marriage? I would like
Corinthians chapter 7, I think it says you can settle and reconcile back. And join yourself back.
Let me, 1 Corinthians where?
1 Corinthians.
Sir, if it is not written like that, I'm just going to end this call. Do you understand? Because I don't want to talk on the radio. 1 Corinthians where?
7, chapter 7.
Verse what?
Start reading from verse 10.
No, I won't start reading. Just tell me the verse.
Have you opened it?
1 Corinthians 7:10, Abi?
Yes.
Where is it? I lie.
Okay. Have you seen it now?
I've seen it.
Okay.
And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband. You see, we are talking of wife and husband. Now we are talking of abusive husband or abusive wife. Can you open to Proverbs 21:19? Let me just quote it for you. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a nagging and contentious wife.
Okay, that place you just quoted,
It means what?
Yes, that's what I want to.
Yes.
When you separate,
Please come to the mic.
Speak into the mic. Speak into the mic, please.
then you understand me now.
Mm.
So you are in an uncomfortable period. Why the settlement is being arranged?
Is arranged by who? Is there an appointed arranger? So let me ask you a question. When a man now kills his wife, what does the Bible say about that? When a man now kills his wife, what does the Bible say about that?
You see, God is going to judge everybody.
So we should wait till somebody is killed by the wife for God to now judge.
Is death not part of life? Death is part of life.
So you would stay in your own house and tell your daughter that death is part of life, that she should stay in an abusive marriage. Have you heard of flee from all appearances of evil? Can you define what evil is? Please, let's move on. If you follow this kind of people, you will die before your time. Where somebody tells you that the Bible is not changing, yet I am to see where the Bible talks about abuse. Everywhere the Bible talks about abuse, it tells you to leave. Now you are saying don't depart from your husband. It says wife and husband. So there is an assumption of sanity in that marriage. But where there is abusive wife, like in Proverbs, or abusive husband, like in Deuteronomy, it tells you to leave. I follow them. You can hear the voice of religion. Now listen, they say God hates divorce. But does God hate the divorcee? God hates sin. Does he hate the sinner? Have you seen in the Bible where God hates the divorcee? It tells you he hates divorce. But then he tells you he hates sin. But does he hate the sinner? In fact, he loved the sinner so much that he sent his only begotten son to die for the sinner, that he hates the sin. So why do people misconstrue a noun and an adjective? Because they refuse to learn. They will be telling you the Bible does not. I wanted to ask Mr. David, what does he do for a living? If he has any form of education that is the source of his income, is it the Bible? Is the Bible, is it a job? If you're a pilot, did you learn how to fly from the Bible? Your phone that you are in is the intellectual property of another. These are the advancements in science, in life, that we are talking about. Before, you have to send a dispatch, a man, a town crier on a message. Now you can just broadcast via social media. That is advancement. Now you are talking about the Bible. They just put religion into every argument, and it kills everything that you are here to do. I wish you all the best, too.
All right, let's continue the phone calls. Hello, good morning. Please try and call us back. 0201 465 7190. 0201 465 7190 and 080 959 75805. If you're sending us a message on WhatsApp. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay, this is Daniel from Ikorodu.
All right, Daniel.
Good morning, Barrister.
Good morning, Jerry. Good morning, Mr. Daniel.
Okay, yes, please. I have a quick question. Now, I'm also from a broken home. As a matter of fact, I don't even know my dad. And my sister, she's just my only sibling. And she got married. And there was this trend of abuse by her husband. And she's the only one I have as a sibling. Now, it happened the first time. It happened the second time. The third time, she did not even want to tell me. In fact, it was fresh. when she sent me the message and quickly deleted it. But she did not know that I had sent the message. And immediately, I went to the guy's house. And to be frank and honest, I went to beat him up. Because I don't take my sister for granted. Now, people were faulting me that I was wrong for doing that, I was wrong for this, and blah, blah, blah. And there was even a guy there that was telling me, I can't try it with him. And I told him, if it were you that it happened to, and you beat up my sister, I will lock you up. But I just want to know, Barrister, please, was I wrong for that action? Trying to curb an evil, unforeseen yet, but that could manifest. Was I wrong for that action? Because sometimes I look at myself like, okay, did I cause any harm on that marriage? Or although now everything is back to normal, which I am still watching, and not like I'm intruding, but I am protecting my sister here. She is the only one that I've got.
All right. What's your name? What's your name?
I've always groomed myself never to be like my dad, because my mom went through hell.
What's your name?
Sorry,
what's your name? What's your name?
What's your name,
Daniel.
Mr.
Daniel. Okay, so Daniel, we'll go on a very short break. If you can stay on the line, please stay on the line. If not, we'll respond to you immediately after the break. Okay?
All right.
All right. Thank you very much. Just stay on the line.
All right.
My ions, please, can't get enough. My ions, please, give it to me now. It go rehydrate you, yeah. Replenish your ions with Pocari Sweat. Rehydrate you faster, easy we observe. Pocari Sweat, give me some more. Pocari Sweat.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire, their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight, each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher, the battle returns and it's full of fire. Fan Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with glory, honor, and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? Then step right up. It's time for more. Register now and take your stand. Your time to shine is now at hand.
Registration is ongoing on www.nigeriainfo.fm.
And Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
All right, Lagos, we're back. This is still Relationship 360 here on 99.3 Nigeria Info FM. Daniel, are you still here with us?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. All right, go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Daniel. So you were asking if you were wrong.
Yes, Barrister.
You want to hear my own story?
Yes, please.
So I was called one night around 1 a.m. years ago that someone, my blood, by a neighbor, that they would just kill her. We don't, they tell una, say make una come carry. It was an Igbo man. I said, because that was about the first time I was hearing, but not knowing that they had been reporting to, my mom knew, my sisters, my sister, but they didn't tell me. So I rushed there. It was at Fola Guru. And I saw that the gentleman, you beat someone, you use her hair. You tie her hair to the bedpost so she can't move her head from the bed. And you get a fire extinguisher and break. This, there are two. The small one you put in your car and the one for the house is what? Okay, let me not even. And the person had passed out. People were trying to break in. I first used my car to break into the comp because they didn't open the gate. And when I saw the gentleman, the husband, I called him that what happened because I couldn't understand. And he said, I'm coming here. There was no light. It was 1 a.m. at night. I ran into thieves. Thieves thought I was a thief too because of the way I was speeding. And when he now arrogantly said, do I want to come? And then he pushed me. I gave him 5 punches. You know when you are throwing punches in the dark? He ran and jumped over the fence. By the time I got in, the house help was like, she's dead. That's
my fear.
So you're not asking me. And the people who told you you are wrong, you should look at them. They are called enablers. Because if it is right, if they can condone assault, you see, if you beat someone, the person retaliates and beats you. You can't go and report for an action that you started. You are beating someone simply because it is a matter of gender. And you expect, first of all, come and try that with my own daughter. And then I want to see the people that will tell me it cannot even happen. It cannot even happen. Whether I'm dead or alive, it cannot happen. I will come back. It cannot happen. So please, the problem here is not you. The problem is your sister. One abuse is enough. Right. I was reading the book of 1 Thessalonians 5:22. For all those religious people, the New International Version says, reject every kind of evil. New Living Translation says, stay away from every kind of people. English Standard Version says, abstain from every kind of evil. King James says, abstain from all appearance. That is before the evil even comes. Just the appearance of it. What is abuse? What is violence? Is it good or evil? If it cannot be called good, then it must be evil. There is no in between good and evil. You are not good and evil. You are either. And someone is telling me they will settle it. Look at those people like the gentleman that called, are those that have supervised the deaths of self. Do you know how many people we've buried this year? Someone attacked a woman, that is success, before marriage with a cutlass. And she went ahead and married because of the advice from this kind of people. They will settle it. Today she's dead with 4 months pregnant and a skull bashed in with a hammer because they want to settle it. It's their own Christianity. It is not Christianity. Because Christianity is ruled by wisdom. It tells you that wisdom is the principal thing, and in all you're getting, get understanding. It tells you my people are destroyed for lack of wisdom. It tells you that this same God is the God of wisdom, the father of knowledge. So the first thing about God is wisdom. And somebody is coming to quote that they must separate to go back. When God led the Israelites out of Egypt, did they go and settle it for the Israelites to return to Egypt? In any form. Please, let's go to the phone lines before I...
All right, Daniel, I think you got your answer, eh?
I even forgot that he was on the line.
Thank you very much. Yeah, he actually stayed back on the line.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Samuel, calling from Ikotumegbe.
Okay, Mr. Samuel, you have 1 minute, please.
There is one couple in my back here. They're always fighting. The woman is always causing the man that he will die on Okada, because the man is Okada rider, that he will die. That is the Okada man. That Okada will kill him or kill him. So it's not up to 3 weeks. They'll be fighting or be begging them in the night to stop, but the causes abuses. Very soon, and the woman don't have Okada accident, and the man, unfortunately, the man died. So I'm looking at that man that is speaking like a pastor. If you having like a woman like that, causing the woman, before you know now, the man is dead now. And the woman is there with 2 children, and the family are coming to pack the property. They want to sell the place there and pursue the woman out. So even I told the woman that if it is too much, you should go to the police station. But if that man should be like, have a woman like that is causing her, and look at the man is dead, you think that himself, such a thing can happen.
Yeah, you know, at times you feel like, I wish this man will have a taste of abuse, so that they will come and quote the last year. This, I told you, how many pastors did we bury? 5. We arrested 3. No, not bury. We arrested 3. 2 committed suicide. Just, they keep telling people to take, and a lot of them are the narcissists. They themselves, you know how many people that if I come, you know how many times they beg me not to mention names, that they will beg early in the morning as I'm coming, that barrister, please don't mention the name. If I start mentioning the names of these pastors that are beating their own wives, yet telling other people's wives to, how can you be reporting abuse to an abuser? You are going to and this is who they are. What would they tell you? You are telling a man who beats his wife, another woman is telling you that my husband beats me. What will he tell you? Isn't it to go and give you scriptures that you should remain? You are reporting an abuser to another abuser. They will tell you to stay.
All right, if you're having any challenge with the Nigerian Info app, please just go ahead straight down to our YouTube, Nigerian Info FM on YouTube, and you can join the conversation. I'll read some of your messages here. I have this message here from Robert. Robert says, tears is coming from my eyes while sharing your story, Barrister Olumide. I also came from a broken home, and it has affected my life till today. Though my parents were not violent, God bless you, sir. And this is Noah. Noah says, good morning, Barrister, and may God increase your wisdom in every way. We're learning and growing. And this is Igoni Philip. And he says, I love watching and listening to this program, though I'm based in Delta State, and I have been recommending it to others. Let's just go to the phone lines just before we head out. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, Barrister.
Good morning, sir.
This is Don Duque from Saboyaba.
Go ahead, sir.
So, the reason why somebody will call this station and say he's a Christian and he says that somebody should still remain in an abusive home is because they don't read their Proverbs very well. Read the book of Proverbs. You will see wisdom and understanding. That is what Proverbs is all about. You understand? That's why somebody will call and say, if you should be quoting the Bible that if a woman or a man is in an abusive home, that you stay there until the person dies. It's because it has not happened to him or her. You understand? But keep on. More grace to your elbow. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We have this message here on WhatsApp, and this is say, may God Almighty continue to enrich you with more wisdom and knowledge. I'm able to take a decision to move out of my violent marriage, but the issue now that is pending is that legal practitioner charge very high for divorce proceeding, and I can't avoid.
Then listen, you will be alive first before you divorce. If you are married legally, that is by the courts, you did court marriage, you went to the registry, you are to separate first for 2 years. There is no rush. It is 1 year after. And these lawyers, you can also talk to them. Okay, I will pay you 100 now, I'll pay you 150. You come to a payment arrangement. But first of all, catch your breath. You are talking about divorce, you haven't separated. You separate first. Be alive first, then be worrying about bills later. You can separate for 10 years without divorce. It's when you are ready and the other, hey, you now have enough money, then you go for a divorce. And you just did a divorce for someone, they've been separated for 22 years. I told them that they don't even need to appear in court. Just tell the judge you'll be separated for 20 days. You don't even need,
it's simple.
It's just simple. They are both alive and well.
This message from Ayo, he say men stays in more abusive relationships, and this is one of the reasons people cheat. This leads to more societal problems. What do you think about that, Barrister?
If you are not happy, leave. It's not cheat. Leave. It's not that if you are not happy, cheat. No, leave. It's simple. Let the wolf marry the wolf. Let the sheep marry the sheep. When wolf marries sheep, problem. And then people will say, go back to the wolves then until the wolf eats the sheep.
This man says he's separated for 3 years now. The one who says he cannot afford the divorce settlement.
You just, enjoy your life. Enjoy your life.
All right, go ahead, Barrister Olumide. Okay, we have 10 minutes on the clock.
Thank you very much, everyone. So, I just people get me worked up at times. Sit down in your house and you say you are settling it. You are sitting down and people's children are being battered watching. I want to congratulate Mr. Chukwuemeka Anyanwu, a fantastic volunteer in our organization who is getting married today. The families of Anyanwu and Nzurike, I congratulate you. May you live long. May your union be an encouragement to others. Congratulations once again. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not easy. I'm getting a little, when frustration is not frustrating, but it is along the borders of frustration that this week I considered leaving the country because the stress and when you need support, when we're talking of support financially, it is a lot to want to do something and have no resource. And a lot of people here listen to us but have never, but will keep sending people to us. And my first annoyance are those religious, my pastor sent me a lot of them, and a lot, and my pastor gave me your number. Now you collect tithes and offering, then you send people to me empty. I will now use my money. Now gather people, let's raise money to do this. It is getting more and more difficult because things are getting more and just while I was even frustrated, I got an offer outside the country that please come and do this here. We really need you. One African country and one European country. The people contacted me and gave me lots of incentives, and they're really. I'm telling you, I'm really considering.
Are you
it.
considering?
I am actually. Even a tree needs good soil to grow. I can't start giving yellow leaves now. And
so what's frustrating is the resources.
Listen, I have never been in as much debt in my I don't borrow money. Everybody knows that. I will never borrow money. I don't borrow, so I sleep well. But see, it's September last year to this year. In my I have never been in debt of up. If I owe you money, maybe 100, 200. I don't owe. I don't even call. You know that one that you collect Ashwebi and you will sow. You have not feed. I can't wear what I have not paid. I can't eat. You've not paid for and you are eating it. That's how my father raised me. And you are now in debt of millions that when you are praying, you are just like, I have to be calling the. They say, that why am I called? That they understand. I don't want you to understand. It's just very strange that you are in debt. And what is the debt? Look at this person in Mercy Hospital now. It was somebody that listened to our program that called that there is a 14-year-old pregnant. In Ojo, had our people in Ojo, they went. Did we know that it will lead to us carrying all these medical bills? Paying for this, and the news, the funny thing is that a lot of these social media and news that you hear are lies. We rescued the child. Next thing we saw other people's names. It was all over the radio and TV of a 14-year-old girl who got pregnant by the stepfather. Our name was not even mentioned. Meanwhile, now we carry the girl, go police station. Now they pay for the bills, the delivery. If she had nothing, she had no antenatal care. The child was almost gone. We couldn't stand back. Had to start raising money to pay for medical bills, transport from Ojo to Mercy Street, and you are paying bills. Remember, we still have somebody in the hospital that I mentioned, Mrs. Rosemary, the one whose spine was cracked. 3 million naira. You are just, we can't, this is not sustainable. I can't continue like this. So that is why I'm going to stop a lot of things now. As in, this is not sustainable for me. I can't, it's not, Ordinarily, these are insaner claims. We have no sponsor. We have no, and what baffles me is the volume of people that listen to my program. Someone had to call me on his street. He was going down. He was just from radio left to right. It was Relationship 360. He now called me Egbon all over my street. People listen, but there is no support. Few. I'm not even looking for people. Even the job of the government that you assist the government to do, it's not in an environment that is. And I wonder how these NGOs, because if you just say this one has gotten grant of so and so, that one has gotten grant, and they never do anything. We know ourselves. There's one NGO. The man just bought he just bought a very expensive car. They talk only once a year on the International Women's Day. That's all. But when you see their CV, their website, what they do is like the government is like they do this, and I'm looking at these people, and they make, and all of us, we're just standing there, robbing 2 naira, robbing 1 naira, and you have several important people listening to us without, you just keep sending people. It's just amazing. I get at least 40 calls per day. I have over 4,000 messages every 2 days. And can you imagine, we try to, because I don't know what kind of heart this is, that you just can't mind your business. That you just go and you gather people. The Gnosis Volunteer Network, God bless you, each and every one of you. 1 naira, 2 naira here, everybody combined. There is basic on ground. It's not sustainable. Yes, I'm ranting so very soon, if you just see that I'm not here, you would understand why I am not here. Not that you didn't give. It's not you, not your money. That's not, no. I'm not. People even offered at times that I feel somehow, but at times when there is support, you go far. On Thursday, I will be in Port Harcourt by God's grace next week. And Friday, I will be in Bonny Island. Then I will try to make it down here by Saturday morning to be able to share some more insights again to us. For those that might want to reach out to me, many organizations that I look at and I was like, these people can't they just try to support us more? Not with. The other time, one organization gave us mattresses, fantastic. We're able to give these women that we were able to take. And you need to see the women that we rescued. Today, they are now so much better. Businesses here and there, not that they did not have sense, but they were just married wrong. So for those that might want to reach out to me, please reach out to me on 0909 3214 942. 0909 3214 942 on for calls, WhatsApp. Again, 0909 3214 942. We'll be glad if the country is becoming harder, and to be good is now, or to help is now so difficult. We pray that we're able to, but in case, ladies and gentlemen, Barrister Olumide might not be around, there were some things that frustrated me. I don't do well with death, and we can't continue like this. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Lagos. We'll be wrapping up the show right now. Relationship 360. We have Uncle Jimmy Dusu standing on standby, ready for the discourse. We're still here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Don't go nowhere. We're here to take more of your thoughts and to engage you in more conversation. Lagos, thank you so much for joining us today. Hello, good morning. I think we have one last call before we go.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. What's your name? Where are you
My
calling
name is Christopher. Barrister Olumide, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I heard you lamenting about the funding part. I just wanted to quick challenge. Have you tried approaching all these international
Sir,
agencies?
I have
Like, for
approached
example,
everyone possible. Can you hear me? I have reached out. I used 3 years to write proposals, both local, international, organization, everywhere. I spent 3 years. I didn't do anything for 3 years, but going for interviews, writing proposal, showing who I am.
Ademo, Barrister Olumide will reach out to you afterwards. We have to go. We have to go.
Okay.
All right. He will reach out to you. Thank you very much.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.